And welcome to episode 32 of Why Would You Show Me This? I am Will.
And I'm Dani.
And another pick from Dani this week.
Mm-hmm.
One that she had been talking about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just for me to see whether it be with the podcast or not. So, without further ado.
I picked Split by M. Night Shyamalan, which is a director that Will isn't necessarily a huge fan of.
I've been burned by him a few times at this point, so.
The synopsis of that is 3 girls are kidnapped by a man with diagnosed 23 distinct personalities. They must try to escape before the apparent emergence of the frightful new 24th.
Yes.
Good enough.
Good enough. Good enough.
What did you think?
James McAvoy was great in it.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good. So was Anna Taylor.
Her name's Anya.
Anya. So was Anya. Yeah. I don't think M. Night's movies are for me.
Okay.
At this point, the more that I've watched, I just don't feel that I'm a big fan of the way that he likes to do things.
Right.
Especially with the twist in this one, as you would say, I guess, just is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the last movie that I saw of M. Night's was The Visit.
Okay.
And I was really excited for The Visit, just as I was very excited for The Happening when it originally came out. And I went into them with a very open mind, actually excited to see them, and came out like fucking hating both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I don't hate this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't do it for me in the end with the final conclusion to the story.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it about the end that you didn't like? Is it the fact that some of his personalities believe that if you don't suffer, you're not worth anything?
Yes. I mean, that's the whole conclusion of the film. And, you know, the whole, she doesn't, spoilers for Split, we're gonna get into that. She doesn't, the one, personality who seems to like to get girls naked and watch them dance. Dennis. He doesn't do that with her, because he's trying to be better. Patricia, I think, tells him to do that. The other personality. And then, you know, at the end, her shirt comes off, and then he sees all her scars, and he's like, "Oh, you've been through things too, so I'm not going to kill you." It's just like the whole some of his twist endings are so happenstance, and it's just like, oh, I just feel like it could have been much better. Yeah, I didn't get down with that at all. It just didn't seem like a big enough of a thing for it to be like that's how she gets out of it. Yeah, just didn't like it.
Do you really think that it would need to be something bigger to get her out of that?
I mean, I guess it fits in line with the character. It fits in line with how he feels about people that haven't been through things. Also, I believe in the beginning of the film, it is said that he was stalking the 2 girls, and he did not expect her to be there.
That's true, yeah.
So he was going after the 2 girls that seemed to have nothing ever went wrong in their lives. But it just, I don't know. Like, it works for the story, but I'm not a big fan of the story, so it doesn't work for me.
Right. What do you think about the interaction between the 3 girls?
I did like the interaction between the 3 of them in the beginning, when the main girl, it was like her birthday party in the beginning. She's like, "We all gotta bum rush them and do this," and Anya's character is like, "No, we don't. We gotta do that." I like that whole thing with those 3. I liked it a hell of a lot more when they were together. Once they were separated in the movie, I didn't particularly enjoy a lot of what was going on. I thought it was more interesting with them together.
I agree. I definitely think that too. what what about this did you particularly hate?
I'd say, like I said, I don't hate.
No,
anything.
I mean, but what, like, other plot holes?
I don't think they're plot holes. I just think the way that M. Night's mind works, it's very
Surface?
not surface. He puts things together in a way that I don't think they should fit together.
Okay.
It's like he forces a puzzle piece in where he needs it to go.
Okay.
More than just naturally coming together. I think, yeah, that's just the problem that I've had with his movies. And this continues that trend of just he just wants it to go a certain way, so he makes it go that way. He doesn't particularly make it lead up to that in a good fashion.
Right.
In my opinion, I know that M. Night has split moviegoers right down the middle. You either love him or you hate him, basically, at this point. And I don't hate him. I've enjoyed some of his films, his earlier films. I just think that he's gone in a way that I'm not there anymore. And I just can't get down with the way that his mind writes things.
And this is a precursor to Glass.
Yes,
right?
this is the second movie in the trilogy, basically. It's Unbreakable, this, and then Glass.
Okay.
And I have not seen Glass. We have not watched that.
No.
That I also had a problem with the fact that he wanted to drudge up, Unbreakable with this film. I mean, he does. There are little seeds along the way of Split that you can sense it's going to go there because before we watched Split, I knew what happened. I knew the whole end, the stinger, so I could see like, oh, they're talking. The doctor talks about. She thinks they might be the next evolution in humans and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, I get where this is going.
Which is a weird but interesting theory.
It's interesting. No, that is an interesting part of the movie. I definitely feel that her part and her relationship with him was very interesting. The way that she cared for him, basically, and cared for all of her patients.
Especially being able to tell the difference between all of them.
Yeah, I mean, she could tell when one was trying to be another.
Yes, and she could tell that, which was very interesting.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. Her talking about how mental illness might be, or at least this particular mental illness might be an evolution.
Yes.
Which I think is interesting and a little controversial.
Yeah, definitely.
But interesting.
I think even in the movie, it's talked about it being pretty controversial.
Well, it's because DID itself is controversial.
Yeah.
It's widely debated if it even exists or not.
Yes.
So, and I like the fact that that's put into the film as well. Is that, she believes in this, but not a lot of her colleagues do, or if any, really believe the same thing that she does.
Yeah.
So I like that part because that part is actually very realistic to the mental health thing at large. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily very widely believed either. So
yeah.
I like that aspect of it.
What was your favorite personality?
Favorite? I don't know. It's hard to say. I really like Hedwig.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as we were watching, like, I kind of asked you that, but I knew it already. Hedwig seemed to be your
Hedwig,
favorite.
but he is also an asshole.
Hedwig is an asshole. He's part of the bad group.
Yeah, he is. I like Patricia too, even though she's also part of the bad group. I like all of them a lot.
I mean, I
like Barry because he's the fashion designer. And I like that a lot.
You could even say, though, that they're really just protecting Kevin, which is the actual name of the character.
Which is the name of the
actual person in all of this.
The person they're inhabiting.
Yeah.
But I also like the thing of if you say his full name, it'll call all of them at once, and it should do like almost like a hard reset.
Yes.
Which works and then doesn't.
And also, that's another problem that I had with the movie.
Is why it doesn't work.
No, not why it doesn't work. Why didn't the therapist use that when she was being murdered?
She was trying to. She was trying to say it because she was drugged at first and trying to say it, and for some reason couldn't.
She could say other things perfectly. She said a bunch of other words to him. She could have said his name and gotten stopped herself being murdered.
I don't know.
But that wouldn't work for the plot.
I guess.
So, she just had to die.
Yeah.
And then we had to have the main woman character say it. Or the main girl character. She's a girl. She's a teenager.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, then it works and it doesn't.
Yes, apparently it works one time. And then it doesn't. Again, like I said, like how M. Night likes to just kind of shove things that maybe shouldn't be shoved together. Just because he wants them to. And he thinks that works for his film.
I mean, I'm one of those people who doesn't think super hard during films, so but it's very easy for me to just kind of overlook shit. Yeah, but the thing with M. Night is that he writes these scripts and he wants them to be clever. Yeah, of course. He wants to have the twist ending when he does. He wants you to not know what's gonna come. So to have a script or a movie that you're trying to be clever and then you have things like that's just glaring plot holes, in my opinion. Just it's more reasons why I just am not a fan of his work anymore. I just think it's very interesting how good The Sixth Sense was, and from then on it hasn't been as good as that. I mean, Unbreakable. I mean, there was Unbreakable. You're a big fan of The Village. I like The Village, but The Village isn't even really very widely held, I don't think. No, but that's the thing though, is that there are a lot of people that love his films, that like every single one of them, including the ones that people say are horrible. Well, truth be told, he's really good at character studies, I feel like. A lot of his movies have a lot of detailed characters in them, and I think that's something that I like. Like, I even like Lady in the Water, and not a lot of people like that film either. There's not a lot of his films that I don't like. Yeah. Because a lot of them are character studies. The Village, you could say, is a character study on Bryce Dallas Howard's character. Because she's the main character in The Village. And it's mostly centered around her and what's going on. And, and also The Village at the same time. But I like his characters. I really do. Because I feel that they are well thought out. Sure. Yeah, I mean, sure. And I think that's why sometimes the story suffers every once in a while. Well, maybe often when it comes to his movies. Depends on how you feel. Because he's focused. Well, I hate The Happening. Yeah, I don't like The Happening because I think that's probably the most pretentious thing he's made. Super pretentious, for sure. And I didn't like that. Yes. I didn't like it. It didn't make I didn't like anything that happened in it at all. Well, it's a very laughable film. I mean, I really, like I said, it was one I was really excited for because it was, when it was coming out, it was like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan's first R-rated movie. And the trailer showed, like, people being murdered. Like, I remember somebody gets, like, ran over by, like, a lawnmower or something. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, this is going to be awesome. You go see the movie, it's about the wind killing people. It's about the trees. The trees, whatever. It's just, it's like, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing, is that obviously there are people that are into his films, and I don't begrudge them. Like them all you want. I just think there's lots of bad writing and plot holes in a good amount of his films. Like also with the Visit, just like absolutely hated the characters and absolutely hated the end twist thing about everything. The truth is I didn't like anything about The Visit. No, and that was another one. Like, it was like, oh, he's back, and this is gonna be good, and I've been duped a lot by M. Night movies, and I think that's why I feel the way that I do now. But I will say that I did like Split a hell of a lot more than I have. The Split is the first M. Night Shyamalan movie that I haven't really, really, really hated since Unbreakable. So, yeah. That's good. I mean, it's good. Yeah, I mean, that's the positive I can say about Split. I mean, obviously, like I said in the beginning, James McAvoy does great. I mean,
the scenes in which he just turns on camera.
Well, there's one scene where he's switching between a bunch of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Like moment after moment.
Yeah.
Because it's cycling through almost.
There's the one scene where he goes to see his therapist, and he is Dennis pretending to be Barry.
He is.
And he keeps on telling her, "No, I'm Barry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Barry." And then there's that one long shot of him when she is like, "No, I have you," and you see Barry drain and Dennis come up, and I thought that was really great. I really liked that.
His change of facial expressions alone, because especially because he's bald.
Yes,
he doesn't have a ton to work with. He only has his face. To work with, and he does it very, very well.
He does.
I think one of my favorite scenes in this movie has to be when Hedwig takes her to his room and dances.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's so funny, and it's so genuine.
Yeah, it's very innocent.
It's just like Hedwig is supposed to be like what, 9?
9 years old. Yeah.
And so he's a 9. He's this is an adult man as a 9-year-old dancing to techno, which was hilarious.
Was it techno? He talked about like Kanye West being his man.
He didn't play Kanye.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a Kanye song.
No, but it was a techno song that he played, and it was hilarious to watch him dance, like a kid would to try and impress a girl. It was very funny, and I loved that scene so much because there's brevity in that scene a little bit. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of a reprieve from all the horrible shit that's going on.
Hedwig is that.
Yeah, he is.
Basically.
But at the same time, you're also like, oh, he's also a
little fucked up.
Yeah. He's also really bad because he...
Well, Hedwig is his repressed childhood, obviously.
Yeah.
And, it's just like he never got to be the child that he wanted to be, and that's why his child personality is like, well, I want to come out and nobody else will let me out.
And what gets also revealed is the reason that saying his full name calls him forth is because he was abused by his mother.
Yes.
Who used to say his full name when she was angry at him. So that's what brings him forth.
Yeah.
And that whole thing. So that's kind of sad as well. There's also a scene that I really like where she's trying to get out and she's trying to find the keys and all that stuff. And the recordings of Kevin, so to speak, or all the personalities.
Oh, everything on his computer.
Start coming up.
Yeah.
And one of the first one that comes up, I think, is Jade.
Yes.
Who we don't meet. But she has...
At the end, there's a little second of her.
But she has diabetes.
Yes.
So she has to inject insulin.
Yeah.
She talks about how it doesn't make any sense. Like, that she's the only one who needs these injections and everybody else doesn't and all that stuff. So that lends to the, like, proof of them all being very, very different from each other. And being able to actually... affect the body that they're in, which is also, we haven't even talked about where the Beast comes in to play.
We have not talked about the Beast. The 24th personality, which his therapist does not believe.
It's believed to be a myth.
A myth that you can create another personality, basically.
Well, not a myth that you can create another personality. She deems it as a scary story.
Yes.
That some of the other personalities
are telling
the other personalities to scare them.
Mm-hmm.
But her theory is that he is able, because of his beliefs and how strong they are, that they manifest in his body. So the Beast could be real.
Yeah.
She believes that he isn't.
She does.
And unfortunately, she is proven wrong in the worst way when he kills her.
And she should have just said Michael... something. Kevin.
Actually,
Michael.
I think it's Kevin Wendell Crumb.
Kevin Wendell Crumb. That is the name. You're completely correct. Yes, she should have just said that. But she died because that's sad.
And that's the thing. I mean, truthfully, I do kind of understand why that's needed, because she is a force of good in his life, trying to help him, and even understanding these personalities. But once she discovers that he has kidnapped 3 girls, she tells him that this has to stop, that they can't do this and all this other stuff, and that's obviously when things are different.
It's another thing that really bothered me, that she understood that these personalities have been put away because they are kind of dangerous.
Yes.
But she knows that they have come out.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't really do much.
She's trying to, but the problem...
She's really not, though. Like, she's
trying to handle it, I feel, in the best way she feels possible, and that is not provoking the other personalities.
I think that she should have understood that those personalities are dangerous, and that she should, like, have him committed for a little bit or something.
Something.
I think a therapist would do that.
Right, but if we did that, we'd have no movie.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. But these are the plot holes that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I understand. But
I mean, she almost like he's like a pet to her almost.
I don't think that.
But in a way, like, yeah, but she cares about him, obviously. But also, he is her research data.
Right, but he has also never done anything like this before, so there isn't any reason for her to believe that he would do this.
Dennis and Patricia have come about before because she talks about that they have been put away.
They've been banned.
So obviously, they've been banned for a reason.
Right.
Because they're dangerous.
But again, it's almost like the situation of, like, if you're a mother and you have a kid and your kid gets hurt and you don't freak out right away because you know you're gonna freak the kid out. If you freak out, I think it's that situation of she's trying to handle it as calmly and as docile as she can because she fears if she doesn't, it's gonna make him snap. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is very possible. I mean, I feel bad because I feel like she did do what she felt was right. You know what I mean? It's extremely hard.
Yeah.
To deal with, you know, if the person in front of you is saying one thing and you know it's different. You know what I mean? That's a very hard situation for her to navigate. And I feel like she did what she felt she could. Mm-hmm. You know, because she goes to his work at one point and sees him and confronts him.
Yes,
so
that's right before she basically gets killed.
It is. But she takes her own initiative to make sure that everything's okay, and then discovers it's not, and then tries to do the right thing, and can't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a shame. It's a hard situation. Yeah. You know, it's a hard situation for her, especially because she commiserates with him. You know what I mean? She empathizes with him. And that's also difficult, you know, when you have a patient you've worked with for so long, you know what I mean? So I feel she did everything she felt she could within the realm. I mean, because that's the thing. What are you going to go to the police and tell them, hey, my patient has multiple personalities and this might be happening, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how seriously do you think they would have taken her? I mean, I say that because I've watched so many true crime cases at this point where people report people missing and the police do nothing. They don't take it seriously. They don't do anything. So even when that occurs, when a real situation occurs, sometimes police don't even react. So think about if you went to police and were like, hey, this is what's going on. They're not going to fucking believe you.
Part of me assumes that Kevin has been in a facility.
I imagine he has.
So if he has been in a facility, then I think if she went to said facility and said that I think he's becoming dangerous.
Yeah, then absolutely.
They would have come.
But again,
he's out in the world.
Right.
Like, he works at a place where public people are.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just doesn't gel with me.
It's just like when you tell me with David Lynch films, it's like you can't apply a certain amount of logic to this shit because it's a movie.
Sure, but M. Night Shyamalan is not dealing in the dream world.
I understand.
This is supposed to be reality.
Okay, fine.
This is how I feel.
I understand. Look, I don't know how many times I have to refute you.
No, it's okay. It's not a refute. That's your opinion about what was going on. Yes. And my opinion is that if she was a good therapist, doctor, she would have done something before this happened.
I guess. Again, if you did, there would be no fucking movie.
No, I understand. But that's just how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't like this movie because I think that there's a plot hole. You can totally like this movie. Anybody can like this movie.
I do. I just think you're being too critical sometimes.
Maybe I am, but
I do because I feel like if you sometimes applied that exact criticalness to David Lynch's films, some of them would not hold up.
I think that they're two different beings. So you can't use the same rules for both.
I think you can sometimes.
I disagree, but that's okay.
This is a dream world. What in the this does remind me of a dream world. What about? I feel that is what he operates in, and you can disagree all you want.
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, and I definitely think that he does operate in the dream world. Think about all the premises of all of his films. Think about The Sixth Sense. That's a dream world. That is an entire dream world because he's dead the entire time.
But he's in reality with people.
He is, but it's still a dream world to me.
To you, sure.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but
no, it's fine.
I think all his movies seem to be set in reality to me. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really remember Lady in the Water. That seems like the most dreamy of his films that I can think of.
Maybe.
I don't quite remember a lot of it though.
Mm-hmm. I think you're too harsh.
That's fine. It's still look. This is my honest opinion of the film. I'm not like I know I don't have a great track record with M. Night, but I definitely gave this a shot. I didn't have my blinders on. Like, this is going to be a terrible movie. I've heard a lot of people say it was a good movie. You told me it was a good movie, and I wouldn't exactly call it a good movie, but I'm not going to call it a bad movie either.
Okay.
So there's things I like about it. There's things that I don't like about it. It doesn't come together for me as a full story that makes sense, but I can appreciate some things in it.
Okay.
So I'm not, I gave my full attention and I went into it unbiased.
Okay.
And this is how I feel about the 2 hours that I watched.
Okay.
So I'm not, I'm not shitting on him. I'm not shitting on you liking the movie.
I don't give a shit if you don't like the movie or not.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes you're a little too critical.
Okay. That's fine. It's just my opinion on the movie.
I know.
That's it. I think I would give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 out of 10. Strictly because performances and like I mentioned, some of the scenes that I enjoyed. I enjoyed some of the aspects of the story, how that kind of relates in the real world, and just the questions that he kind of raises about the certain disorder or disease, whatever it would be called.
I guess it'd be a disorder.
Affliction.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It'd be probably a disorder.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, 4 out of 10.
Okay. I'd probably give it a 5 or 6.
Really? That's it? Just that much more?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't seem like you have many problems with it though.
I don't.
Okay.
But it's not my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie.
No. Oh, okay.
No, not by any means.
All right. I thought you
like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Well enough, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. What is your favorite?
The Village.
The Village. Okay.
The Village, I think, is the best one that he's done. Except for Sixth
Even
Sense.
Better than Sixth Sense. I was going to say even better than Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense is always going to be the litmus test for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But no, I like The Village a lot.
I think that might be a little bit of a problem with his films, too, is because Sixth Sense was just so good.
It was, yeah.
He set the bar very high for himself on, like, his it's not his, Sixth Sense wasn't his debut film, but it was the film that got him on the map.
Yeah.
So, he set a high bar for sure. So, we got a 6 and a 4.
Yep.
Not bad.
No.
Not a terrible score from either of us. I mean, truthfully, his last few films have been probably like a 1 or a 2 for me. So yeah, not too bad.
That's
with the
good.
4. If I'm presented with glass, I may watch it.
Okay.
Just to see where this goes, how all 3 of them come together and what they do. It might be interesting. So I'm open to that.
Okay, good.
I know if you want to watch it, I'll watch it.
Eventually, excuse me.
Eventually. We basically did this because of M. Night's new film that's coming out, Old. Do you want to see that?
I'm not gonna pay to see it.
You're not gonna go to the theaters, obviously, but like when it comes out to rent for like $5-6.
Yeah, I'll rent it for that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it looks interesting for sure.
It looks interesting enough. It's got one of the guys that I like from Hereditary.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's got a lot of good people in it, a lot of good actors. Yeah, I don't know. It's another one. It's gonna go one of two ways. I've read some reviews online. It's very divisive already.
Of course.
Yeah. So we had our last live stream, which was Frankenhooker. It was very fun.
It was fun.
It was the first time Dani saw it. I think everybody that watched it loved it.
It's kind of your first time seeing it too. You didn't remember like hardly anything.
It was my second time watching it, so I didn't remember a lot of it. But I remembered some of it.
Yeah.
So it was almost anew for sure.
Yeah.
But I love it. And it was very awesome. I think this next Saturday we are going to be doing an Italian horror film. I believe it's going to be either a Fulci or an Argento film. We have a poll going on right now on our Instagram and Twitter page. They are both just WWYSMT Pod on either one of those. The live streams are also being streamed on Twitch, which is the same WWYSMT Pod, twitch.tv/that. So yeah, I think you're gonna have another episode next week probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
I already have a movie for that.
Dani already had. Yeah, we do already have the movie. I know which movie that's going to be. Yeah. Should we tell people what the movie is going to be?
No.
No, Dani likes to keep her stuff very, very secret.
Yep.
So yeah, so we will see you guys this Saturday for some Italian horror.
Yay.
Or Dani is not a big fan. Or we will see you next Tuesday.
We'll see you Saturday or Tuesday. Whatever the fuck you want to
Dani wants to shut me up.
No, it's just, it's Saturday or Tuesday.
Saturday or Tuesday.
Whichever one, or both. Whatever you fucking want.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening or watching, and we will see you Tuesday or Saturday.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.